Hi, I'm Ann Perry, founder of Business Heroine, and this is Ask a Heroine. So, the question that I'm answering today is this. She writes, I'm new to business and ready to bring in my first clients. I know I'm good at what I do, but the thought of charging money is freaking me out. Is it okay to lower my rates to get my first clients, or would that be shooting myself in the foot? So this is such a great question, and I appreciate you asking because that's something that every entrepreneur has to figure out. When it's time to bring in those clients, it's like grand opening, it's super exciting, and it's like, what do you charge? And especially if you're new to business and you've never had to charge a rate for something that you're offering, you're used to, just getting a paycheck kind of thing. It can be really intimidating. And to make matters worse, there's so much conflicting advice out there about how to do this. So on one hand, you'll get advice, offer your services for free for your first clients. And the reason that that advice exists is they'll say it's so that you can get experience. It's so that you can get testimonials, which therefore you'll then be able to bring in more clients, and you'll hopefully get referrals. So I personally don't like that approach. And here's why. First of all, the people who are receiving your services for free, especially if you're a coach, for example, they tend not to be the people who will refer you paying clients. A referral from somebody who's getting services for free is far less powerful than a referral than from somebody who's paying. So think about that for a second. If someone's like, "Oh yeah, she's great, she's awesome. She's hooking me up. I don't have to pay, but you totally should." There's that, or there's like, you know what? It's an investment. It's not cheap, but it is so worth every penny. Can you feel how much more powerful of a referral that is? And, from a lot of the coaches and business owners that I've coached, a lot of them who have tried that method of offering their services for free in hopes of getting referrals, they hardly even get referrals from those people. So you can experiment with it. You can do whatever you want, but I'm going to tell you a way to make sure that you're charging in a way that works for you. But another reason I just want to point out about the offering your services for free or extremely discounted, why that may not serve you, is because it's actually a confidence drainer. It's like there's something about actually receiving money for the delivering of your services that anchors in that you are legitimately in business. Because, like you shared, you already know that you're good at what you do. So when you offer your services for free or extremely discounted, you are basically reinforcing, I'm good at what I do, but I don't get paid for it. Or I'm good at what I do, but I don't know how to get paid for it. And that it's just a confidence drainer. There's something about when you charge the money, no matter how scary it is, when you charge the money and someone says yes, they're willing to invest their money in what you're offering for themselves. That is powerful. And that you'll watch your confidence soar through the roof. And so that's why I don't really jive with the offer your services for free or extremely discounted when you're starting out. On the other end, you're going to hear advice that's like, you want to make sure you charge what you're worth. You've probably heard that before. Charge what you're worth. And you don't want to sell yourself short. You don't want to position yourself as the cheap one on the block, right? You want to make sure that you're establishing your credibility, and so you need to charge a higher amount of money in order to do that. And also there's the argument that's tied in with that is that people will value what they put into it. So if you get something for free, you don't value it as much as when you pay a lot of money for it, you value it. Have you ever gotten a course for free and then just kind of found yourself never doing the homework? Whereas then when you've invested in a program that was a stretch for you, you're on every single call and you are taking tons of notes and you are, really prioritizing this. So there is definitely something to be said for that. However, what it all comes down to, and this is what I would like to offer you, is it all comes down to what is in alignment for you. Because I've worked with clients where they're at this, they know the value of what they have to offer, they know what they're worth and what this work is worth, but they're still finding themselves petrified, paralyzed, and not able to ask for the money, or they start to share their services and ask for money, and it gets really awkward really fast, and they're tripping over their words, and it's just painful, and it's just not working because they're finding themselves not putting themselves out there. So what it all comes down to is, what do you need to charge to get in the game and feel good? Simple as that. What do you need to charge to get in the game and feel good? And I'm going to take it one step further and offer you a little tool. This is what I call the aligned pricing scale. So this is an internal process that you're going to try. This isn't a mathematical, what will the market bear and what do you need to reach your financial goals. This is a really getting started, getting your first few clients in, aligned pricing scale. So on the low end of the scale are feelings like resentment and disappointment. And at the high end of the scale, there is paralyzing and wishful. And none of those probably sound good, right? So what you're actually going for is in the middle of the scale, where that ranges from comfortable to exciting to scary. So let me explain. When you offer your services and you offer whatever price it is that you offer, let's just say $100. I don't know what it is that your services are, but we'll just for the sake of an example, let's say you offer your services for $100. But in your heart it's really worth like $1,000 for sure, and you've given it to somebody for $100. On some level, if you're feeling resentful, kind of like when the client wants something from you, or when you're delivering the services, you kind of feel annoyed or irritable, or like, this client doesn't even know how much I hooked them up, and those kind of weird, yucky, resentful feelings, you're charging way too little. Because we don't want to feel resentful towards our clients. We want to feel abundant and generous and happy and loving and giving with our clients, right? So if you're feeling resentful, you're charging way too little. A step above resentful is disappointed, where it's not that you're resentful of the client, but you're kind of kicking yourself. You're like, oh, why didn't I ask for more? Like, maybe you charge $200 and you're like, yeah, okay, I got a client, but it doesn't feel enlivening. It kind of feels like meh. And that's not a feeling we want to have in our business either, right? That's not enjoyable or magnetic or anything. And so that's on the low end of the scale. On the high end of the scale, where I mentioned paralyzing and wishful, paralyzing is like when this is the side of the scale where you're charging too much. If you're feeling paralyzed, like the example I gave of the client who can't bring themselves to name their price or to reach out to the client because the thought of asking for this money is just like who am I? The audacity, how could I even ask for this money? And it stops you in your tracks. Then you're charging too much. And I'm not saying, just to be clear, I'm not saying you're not worth that amount. So let's say on this example we gave, it's worth $1,000, but asking for $1,000 freaks you out. And the truth is, your work might be worth $2,000 or $3,000 for whatever this particular offering is, right? But the thought of asking for $1,000 paralyzes you, keeps you dead in your tracks. That's a problem. You're charging too much only because it's keeping you out of the game, right? Like, the point is, get in business, get in the game. And so it doesn't feel like a win, it feels like a loss, and that's a confidence drainer too. One step beyond paralyzing is wishful. And this doesn't necessarily feel bad. It can actually feel inspiring. But the problem with wishful is it's future oriented. It's like, it's around the corner. It's off in the future a little bit. It's not right now. You can't taste it and feel it right now. That's maybe where you're growing into. But if you're pricing your services at that, you're also going to find yourself taking yourself out of the game, because you're going to be finding a mismatch of clients. Like, the right clients won't be coming to you, or they'll feel that price is like completely inappropriate, and then that becomes a confidence drainer too. So if you're in the wishful stage with what you're thinking about charging, just put that as a placeholder for where you're going to grow into. Now, in the middle range is where you want to be, and this is from comfortable to exciting to scary. So this is like, exciting is right in the middle, right? So exciting is like, oh my God, I got a client, oh my gosh, and you call your best friend and run around the house and do your happy dance. Like, oh my gosh, it's working, I'm in it, it's legit, it's official, I have this client, oh my God. So exciting. That's perfect. Exciting, scary, or scary is fine too, because sometimes we need to stretch ourselves, and that is like your heart's beating and you're like, oh my gosh, am I really going to do this? But you know deep down you can, and you do. And when the client says yes to you, you are running around your house, whooping and hollering and so excited, and maybe just a little bit scared. There's fear is, I often say the only fear you need to get over as an entrepreneur is the fear of fear, because it comes with the territory. So, and then comfortable is like close to exciting also, but it's not so much of a comfort zone stretch. So what you want to look for, again, this is all about what's aligned for you, and the purpose is to get in the game. You want to charge anywhere from comfortable to scary. So comfortable, exciting, scary. If you find yourself in resentment or disappointment, you're charging way too little. If you find yourself in paralyzing, like the fear is paralyzing, or wishful and future-oriented, then you're charging too much. And again, this isn't about what you're worth. It's not about what, mathematically the market bears. This is about what's in alignment for you, and that's how you get in the game. And you'll grow and you'll expand and your prices will raise. And bonus, if you're wondering, when do I know it's time to raise my prices? Go back to this aligned pricing scale, because what you started out charging might all of a sudden slip down to comfortable. It went from scary to like, yeah, it's comfortable to ask for this. And then it starts to feel so comfortable that you're like, it starts to feel dull. Like, yeah, I could keep charging that. And like someone says no and you're like, okay, you're lost. Or they say yes and you're like, okay, cool. If you start to feel like that, in your own you're starting to fall out of alignment with your prices. So that's when you want to start to raise your prices. So I hope this helps. I know we kind of went all over the board, from free to charging what you're worth and everywhere in between. Again, you decide what is in alignment for you, and I encourage you to go for exciting to exciting scary. I guess I'm a little bit of a fan of stretching toward the fear, right? So go for exciting and exciting scary. And I can't wait for this to happen for you. I'm super excited for you and super happy for you. This is such an amazing, magical part of business, is going from idea into, oh my gosh, I have real clients. I'm actually in business. Bingo, presto, poof, like pulling a rabbit out of a hat. You're in business. It's super fun. So anyway, let us know how it goes, and thanks for tuning in. Bye.